Well, happy Tariff Day, my friends. This is the day that our convicted felon, criminal piece of garbage president, the orange buffoon himself, has imposed massive tariffs on our biggest trading partners. Now, how about that? Is that making America great again or what? Now, I got to admit, I really believed that if Donald Trump were reelected, that it would be a disaster for this country. But man, I've got to be wrong. I mean, it's only been barely a month and we're in a trade war with our biggest trading partners. That's got to be good for the United States, right? I've got a couple articles here. I don't know if I'll get to them both, but let's talk a little bit about this, shall we? This article that I want to begin with is in the Wall Street Journal. And here's the headline. Tariff war risks sinking world into new Great Depression. International Chamber of Commerce warns. Here's the subhead. The world economy could face a crash similar to the Great Depression of the 1930s. Now, before I get to this article, I think it's important that we remember who and what the Wall Street Journal is. These people are Trump apologists and enablers. They have been making excuses for Donald Trump for years. They endorsed Donald Trump. The Wall Street Journal is owned by Rupert Murdoch, the same piece of garbage who owns Fox News and who has been destroying the United States from within with their nonstop propaganda for the last 30 years. So that is what the Wall Street Journal is. Now, why would they be publishing an article like this warning that Trump's tariffs could spark a second Great Depression? Are they turning on Trump? Is this the beginning of their turning on him? And from now on, they're going to start reporting truthfully that this guy is a disaster for the United States? I seriously doubt it. No, what this is, more than likely, is simply the Wall Street Journal's way of trying to prod Donald Trump, trying to convince him to rescind these tariffs. That's what this is about, more than likely. Anyway, let me read a little bit of this to you. The world economy could face a crash similar to the Great Depression of the 1930s unless the U.S. rose back on its plans to impose steep tariffs on imports. This, according to a senior official at the International Chamber of Commerce. Quote, our deep concern is that this could be the start of a downward spiral that puts us in a 1930s trade war territory. Here's what I don't understand. I thought tariffs were really good for the economy because that is what the candidate who the Wall Street Journal endorsed told us repeatedly during the campaign. He told us over and over, oh, my favorite word, tariffs, tariffs. He told us that tariffs were going to solve all our problems. In fact, we were going to be so awash in cash in this country. We were all going to be doing so well because of Donald Trump's tariffs that we were going to not only eliminate the annual deficit, but we were going to pay off the national debt. $36 trillion we would be able to pay off. And not only that, we would be able to get rid of the income tax altogether and just fund the government on tariffs alone. I remember him saying that over and over again. So why now is the Wall Street Journal telling us that tariffs may put us into a second Great Depression? It doesn't make any sense. What am I missing? Anyway, continuing with the article, the likelihood of a similarly severe blow to the global economy is high. Quote, right now, it's a coin flip. It comes down to whether the U.S. administration is willing to rethink the utility of tariffs. Oh, and there you have it. See, that's the purpose of the article, to try to nudge Donald Trump into sanity. That's impossible, you idiots at the Wall Street Journal. You cannot nudge an insane person into sanity. It doesn't work like that. See, the best thing to do with an insane person is not elect them president. And, you know, if you are a newspaper and there is an insane person, and in fact, an insane person who's also a criminal who tried to overthrow the republic just 4 years earlier, when that person is running for president, you as a newspaper probably shouldn't endorse that person and excuse all their bad behavior and criminality in an effort to get them elected president. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just talking out loud here. Anyways, his comments come, this guy who's issuing all these warnings about a Great Depression, his comments come after tariffs of 25% on imports from Canada and Mexico came into effect in the U.S., stymieing hopes of an 11th hour reprieve. Fresh duties were also added to Chinese goods sold to the country. Trump has promised to impose similar tariffs on European goods. Why not? Raising the prospect of retaliation in kind and a global trade war. So we're slapping tariffs on Mexico, slapping them on Canada, slapping them on China, and threatening to slap them on Europe. And by the way, he's promised to do this. Someone asked him in the Oval Office at one of those ridiculous executive order signing ceremonies a couple weeks back, asked him if he was going to impose the same kinds of massive tariffs he was threatening on Mexico and Canada on Europe. And Trump said, do you want the real answer, or do you want me to tell you the truth, or what? I forget exactly what he said. He said definitely or absolutely or something along those lines, that yes, he was definitely going to impose tariffs on Europe. Now, why not? I mean, we're already destroying our relationship with Europe. Now we're destroying it with Canada and Mexico, making things worse with China. I mean, we're picking fights all over the place. Why just, if you're going to do a trade war, and if trade wars are good for America, if that is making America great again, then why would you just limit it to Canada and Mexico and China? Hell, let's go to war. Let's have a trade war with every country we do business with. I mean, if a limited trade war is good for the United States, then a massive worldwide trade war has got to really be good for the United States. So why the hell not? All right, this second article here, which I'm not going to spend too much time on, this was from MSN. Moody's chief economist warns Trump chaos will choke economy. You don't say. An economist warned Monday that the U.S. is, quote, gagging on uncertainty around the Trump administration's economic policymaking, and that the situation could get worse. Mark Zandi, Moody's Analytics chief economist, gave the dire assessment during an interview. All right, here's the gist. Donald Trump's chaos is bad for business. That's the gist. No shit. I talked the other day about an article in which a bunch of CEOs were quoted panicking, essentially, that Donald Trump is going to destroy the economy. And these people were whining that they don't know what to do. That all this chaos, all the crap that Elon Musk is doing with the federal government, all the things that Donald Trump is doing, threatening our allies around the world, not only with trade wars, but I mean, we're threatening military action against our NATO ally Denmark if they don't give us Greenland. We're threatening Panama if they don't give us the canal. We're threatening Canada if they don't agree to become the 51st state, and on and on and on. They're whining because of all this chaos that Trump has been causing is bad for business, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to plan for the future because they don't know what tax policy is going to be, trade policy is going to be. They don't know if there's even going to be a rule of law in this country. And these same people in the article said that they voted for Trump These geniuses voted for Trump, I presumably thinking that he'd be good for business, that he would somehow bring stability to the United States. How can people who rise to that level of success where they're CEOs of major companies raking in tens of millions of dollars a year, how can you be that stupid? How can you be hired on as CEO being that stupid? It makes no sense. A guy they literally watched on TV incite a violent insurrection to overthrow the government because he lost an election. They thought that guy would bring stability and a respect for the rule of law that would be good for business. These people are out of their frickin' minds. Anyway, enjoy Tariff Day, man. I mean, this is going great. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.